Hi boys and girls, Squee913 here, and welcome to session 6 for Third Age Total War Let's Play. Very exciting session we have in store today, I hope. Because this is like a make it or break it sort of session. Before we get started, a couple of things we need to get out of the way. Some things we need to explain so that everyone is up to date on what we're doing. First of all, I want to go over this briefly, and this is for everyone watching the Let's Plays, not the advisors, because we've already been through this. But so that you guys understand where we're going. Previously in this Let's Play, we had a much more give and take among the departments. We'd all get together for a war council, we would all chip in and throw our advice into different departments. But we've stopped that. We are enforcing a much stricter separation between departments for a variety of reasons. But basically what we're doing now is no longer can, say, the advisor or staff members from cultural development give any advice whatsoever to, say, the advisor of diplomacy. This is kind of realistic in a sense, because, you know, why in the world would the Department of Diplomacy ever have any say whatsoever in cultural development kind of thing, and vice versa. And this is also because I felt that by, you know, say, the advisor of strategy being able to tell the advisor of treasury, you know, how he thinks money should be handled, kind of diminished the whole point of having separate departments in the first place. And it definitely diminished the role of I'm sorry, where was I? I had to stop for a second. It diminished the role of staff members, because that was the whole point of an advisor having staff, is so that they could give advice to the advisor. So, and a really good example is, for example, my staff members had to take a test to be able to become staff members. They had to pass a test I laid out for them. If any advisor from any department can come in and, you know, give how they feel a battle should be fought, then it diminishes all the effort that my staff members had to go through in order to get that right. So we are going to, like I said, enact a strict separation between the departments. This will make things a bit more challenging. It'll make it a little bit harder for the departments to know and anticipate exactly what each other's needs are, but they can still communicate. They just can't give advice to each other. And I wanted to let you guys be aware of that. So there won't be any more war councils like there used to be, unless there's huge things to settle or, you know, decide. And on that note, a couple of things I want to throw out there. First of all, I am still looking for one more staff member for Battlefield Tactics. I have 3 staff members. One of them is not very active, the other 2 are rather active, and while I wasn't sure how useful staff members would be, they've turned out to be amazingly helpful. Generally, my staff is designed to anticipate battles that we will be fighting in the next session and figure out what troops they have, what troops we have, and come up with actual battlefield tactics and stratagem to win the battle with as few losses as possible. And we throw our ideas at each other and come up with a basic plan of attack. And the staff I have been amazingly helpful. I'm still looking for one more. I want a nice staff of 4. So if you're interested, shoot me a PM, go to my thread, the King Squeeus Battlefield Tactics thread and the advisors threads, and take a look at it, read over it so you get a general idea of what the staff members do. And if you're interested, you think you can do it, shoot me a PM on the forums or through YouTube, either way. Actually, no, you know what, do the forums, because this account I don't check as often as my actual Squee913 account. Or if failing all that, at least post something in general discussion for Third Age, and I'll get to you, and I'll point you to where the test is. There's a small test you have to take just to make sure you kind of understand battlefield tactics and you're not, you know, talking out your shoes kind of thing. Excuse me. So let me know if you're interested in that. Also, Seprigessen, or as I call him, Sergio, the advisor of treasury, also needs staff members. Now, as I was just saying, we're advocating a separation between you know, departments, which makes it even more important. And Sergio needs some staff members. Now, I understand that at first glance, advisor or staff member to Treasury may not sound that glamorous, but it's because you're underselling it. The Department of Treasury is one of the most powerful and important positions in this Let's Play. Everything in this Let's Play runs on money, and Sergio has to make sure that the right departments get the right amount of money at the right time, or this entire Let's Play falls apart. If the military development doesn't have what they need, we're screwed. If cultural development doesn't advance as quickly because they lack the funds, we're screwed. And so every single session, he has to do a juggling act with our funds to figure out who goes what goes where. And if you've ever seen his budgets, he's really good at doing this, but especially now that none of us other advisors can give him advice, he could really use a couple of people to throw ideas off of and try and help him tweak it, and just basically someone to converse with to make sure that they're doing the right thing. So if you have ever played these games and are even somewhat decent at controlling the flow of money, and you know exactly how important that can be, shoot him a message. He could really use some staff members. Alright then, now that we've done all of our shameless self-promotion, let's get into the session and our plans for the session, yes? As I said, candidate for adoption. Now, the Advisor of Treasury has allowed us to recruit 2 new members of the family. However, military development, who is in charge of such things, said to make sure they're strong. He does have a command of 3, which is nice, but he has a loyalty of 2. That is rather worrisome. So, yeah, he's disloyal. So I think we're going to say no. Last thing we need is more people turning against us. So, first things first. Let us go over each advisor's plan for the session so you have a general idea of where we're going. Let's first of all take a look at how we left this session. We actually did not finish our 5 turns. We only did 3 because we had an emergency. Eastern Osgiliath has been taken by quite a large force, and Western Osgiliath is threatened, and we are in dire straits, so to speak. First things first, let's go take a look at what some of the advisors have told us to do. And we shall start with, excuse me, the Treasury. Alright, the monetary plans for Session 6. Taxation should be kept the same, so I don't have to worry about taxes. He's diverting all reserve funds to the military effort. So the budget will now look like this. We have 9,879 to start. Military development will now have 2,171. Cultural development has 5,600. Agent recruiting is 1,108. And agent operational fund is another 1,000. However, I need to make a couple changes here because diplomacy stated... Hang on a second. All money put aside for agents or diplomacy can be funneled to the military. Now, this means all money put aside for agents or diplomacy, which means the operational agent fund and the agent recruiting fund, which means this is another 2,108 that we can devote to the military. Now he specifically said to the military, so I'm assuming not cultural development. We're just going to throw this lot into military funds. So hang on a second. Why don't we do this first? We'll funnel those when need be. We'll leave them as is for now, because you can only recruit so much per turn. So when we start running out of recruitment money and we have units we can still recruit and we need them, then we'll take that 2,000 from the agent recruiting and operational fund, since he said it can be funneled. So we have a decent supply for our military right now. And then the budget, I won't go into the details of it, but I'll just use what we need when we get there. Alright, diplomacy. Alright, spies. No need to recruit anymore, and how you're using them is currently more than fine. We need to get a bit more breathing space before we start exploring beyond our front lines. Continue doing what you're doing, using our subversive agents to scout along our front lines and slightly beyond to see what's in store for us. Okay, so we're good there. Just keep on keeping on. Diplomacy. This is a big one. It is ridiculously complicated. First and foremost, a ceasefire is useless if we don't have a military presence to back it up. That is why the Harad broke the ceasefire the first time. They'll continue to do it unless we give them a reason not to invade our land. The one diplomat you sent west for trade rights can keep doing that mission if it isn't finished already. Once he's done, start sending him back to Gondor, preferably by the capital. Now, the Harad. What we do diplomatically depends on the outcome of the battle on our doorstep in the south there. You need to fight it, and what we do depends on the result. Victory, we send a diplomat down to negotiate a ceasefire. We will have to at least offer them 3,000 gold for them to even consider it. There is a chance they will reject it. If that is so, it is out of our hands, at least for a few more turns. Now, if we have to offer them 3,000 gold, then maybe we shouldn't funnel that money to the military. Let's wait and see how that works. Defeat. If we lose that battle, send a diplomat down to negotiate the ceasefire, offering Barad-Haran about 3,000 for peace. That should calm down their onslaught, at least for a while. Victory or defeat, I must stress this. This is our diplomatic advisor speaking here. If we do manage a ceasefire with Harad, we cannot in any instance move our entire army away from the Harad front. Doing so will just invite the third Harad invasion. We'll be worse off than when we started. The decision to move troops is not mine to make, but please take this advice seriously. And the advisors of strategy are well aware of this. They've also taken this into account as well. So we're all on the same page there. Alright, so the advisor of development. For army development, make as many troops as we can in the easternmost cities, pretty much the ones on the eastern front. Very simple. If there's an army there to make, and I have the funds for it, make it. Makes sense to me. For cultural development, for the next step, I want you to upgrade barracks, starting with the ones in Minas Tirith, then upgrade the archery range, then the cavalry. When you are done doing this in Minas Tirith, do it in Dol Amroth. If you bring in any generals, make sure they are really good, since we don't need any subpar generals in this army. Okay, so the army's simple. I'm going to start upgrading the military structures in Minas Tirith and Dol Amroth. Armoth. Alright? So that's simple enough as well. Now, on to strategy. This one's the more complicated one. I'm just going to read this out to you guys, and I'll dictate as we go along. Basically, okay, in the north, so not much can really be done here. If Galakath decides to recruit some troops, but he didn't, while Rohan is our ally, having 2 or 3 units in here wouldn't hurt. Okay, what he's talking about... Sorry, I had a slight graphical glitch there, crashed the game. No biggie. Alright, instead of reading what they said, let me just lay out what they want to do. First of all, I know we have concerns with Rohan up here. However, they are our ally at the moment, and there's not much we could do if they decide to attack us anyway. So we just have to hopefully rely in and put faith in them for now. If they decide to attack us, we're really in trouble. Alright, now, down in the south. Here is one of the, as the advisors of strategy so aptly put it, one of the biggest fights we've ever had yet. Not numbers-wise, but importance-wise. The result of this fight could very well dictate the course of the Let's Play. We are to finish receiving our reinforcements, these guys, and these guys right here. And then we are to attack Barad-Haran with all of our available forces in the field, try and take them out. Now, if we win this battle, we are to then, and I like this outside the box thinking, well, according to the advisor of diplomacy, we are to send one of our diplomats. This guy, where is this guy? Where did the diplomat I got sent? This guy. We are to send this diplomat to try and make a ceasefire. In fact, I'm going to stop his course right there.
My lord. Without question.
He will go up here. In fact, you know what? I will march him over here.
As you wish.
No reason not to. What we will do is, if we win said battle, we will propose a ceasefire. If we get the ceasefire, fantastic. We'll hold position there. If we don't get the ceasefire, then we are to take 4 or 5 units, not a whole lot, but a decent amount, and sack Amran Ithil. Because look how lightly protected Amran Ithil is. Then, once we get Amran Ithil, we are to raze it to the ground. They gave me the choice of occupying it or razing it to the ground, and I would much prefer razing it to the ground and moving on. Why? Occupying, yes, does give us some money, but it's only if you can hold it, and you have to spend precious few resources that we have in order to hold it. Whereas if you take it, burn everything to the ground, you will get money from the resources you take from each building you burn to the ground. So not only does it get you a lot of money, it hurts their infrastructure, it makes it harder for them to make an army to attack you, and you just get to move on. Now, I don't know about this mod, but in original Total War, a lot of times the army, the city, since it's pissed off at you that you took it over, and then now there's no army because you moved on, will rise up and revolt as rebels. And guess what? You don't have to deal with it. Harad does, because they're the ones that are going to have to try and take back that city. So they're going to have to fight the rebels to take back their own city. I don't know if this mod works like that. It may just revert straight back to Harad, but in any case, burning this city to the ground will hurt their infrastructure and give us lots of money. The only way it would hurt us is if we took this over soon, and then we would have to rebuild everything, but we have no plans of doing that. So we're to raise the city to the ground, march onto this city, do the exact same thing, and then, of course, I'm guessing we will try again for a ceasefire, but that'll definitely be more than 5 turns right there. So that's the plan in the south, all hinging on winning this fight right here. And it will be a doozy of a fight. So, you know, let's have no illusions here. Hang on. Oh, there he is. So, yeah, this is a doozy of a fight. Not making any illusions about that. So, now we go on to our eastern border. Our desperate border. And I like this. Our advisors of strategy are thinking outside the box. First things first, I need to move our Fountain Guard and our this guy right here to this fort. Gosh, we have no archers back here, do we? How about that? Alright then. You go there. There we go. We're supposed to move them back there. And these guys are pretty much expendable troops used to delay any attack if the said attack comes. Now, you would naturally think, send your units, all of the units you can from Karandras down to here, but they can't make it there in one turn, and if Mordor decides to attack within that turn, you know, they'll be pretty much useless. Instead, look at this guy over here. This is, hang on, this is a faction heir. It is also a Nazgul. It's a very bad Mamma Jamma. Behind a horde, he is really difficult to defeat. However, right now, he doesn't have much of a horde. In fact, he has just a bunch of orc raiders, an orc band, and 1 orc mauler, and him. So, our mission, our orders are to take every unit we can from here, every unit we can spare from here, and attack him with the sole purpose of killing the Nazgul, annihilating this guy, surrounding and annihilating him while we have the opportunity. And then we're to march on to Heneth Anun, take it, and they're giving me the option of keeping it or raising it to the ground. I don't know yet. Let's see when we get there what we want to do with it. It would be nice to hold it. It'd give us a bigger foothold. However, you know, it's a question of can we hold it. So, and then after we've taken that, it'll all depend on what Eastern Osgiliath does. If Eastern Osgiliath comes out to attack us, That's fantastic. It's gravy. If they attack Western Osgiliath anyway, then we'll worry about it when we get there. Alright? And for the time being, this wasn't stressed in their plan, but I'm assuming any units we make from Minas Tirith and Pelagir and where is... Hang on a second. Anyway, any units we make in the east, I'm going to start sending towards this fort in case Western Osgiliath is taken and they attack the fort. Alright, so let's get down to business, shall we? Let's start making troops and stuff. Alright, can we make anything here? No, we cannot. What can we make in Minas Tirith? 1 militia, that's it. Okay, well, we'll make them. That's 369. Karandros, what can we make? Nothing. Gosh. Alright then. What about down here? We can make 2 archers, 3 militia. Okay, but we can't make them this turn, so let's make 1 archer, 1 militia, I suppose. So... Okay, so I bought the one guy here that I can make. I can make 2 militia here, and I can make 1 archer, 1 militia down here, and all of that basically leaves the military development with 192 gold, which works out rather well actually. And then let's do our cultural development. Come here. We are to upgrade the barracks. So the drill square, right? Yes. Right? No, that's the stables. I need the drill square. Okay, so drill square is 2800. And he said to also do Dol Amroth. Whatever. However, hang on. Alright, so let's see. Watch, which is 2800. Alright. Alright, so both of those are going to be making their version of the barracks. That takes down the cultural development fund to 0 for the time being. And they'll both take 5 turns to make. So for the most part, that'll be cultural development for this session. Since the only things that are supposed to be done in those towns. So we've got that taken care of. Also, you know, that their fund is down to 0 at the moment. Alright, and if we need later in military session, we'll funnel money from the agent reserve fund. For now, let us move these guys
Orders. Your will, my lord.
to... Oh, they can... Oh, man. They could make it to Western Osgiliath. And with these forces... Oh. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, you could maybe even hold Western Osgiliath with those forces. But no one considered that. And so I shall take them
My lord. Your
to
will,
here.
my lord. As you wish.
I mean, oh man. What, how many people are here? This is come here. What? That's 2, 3. That's like 3, almost 400. And this is 300, another 400. That's like 800 men. You might be able to win that. Might. But still. Alright, so we'll leave those guys there. You. Okay, you need to keep what you have right now. You need to keep what you have right now. Alright. So, let's move.
Ships ready.
Let's see what the best way to do this is. Alright, let's send him here.
Set sail. My lord. Order.
pause it then.
Fine day to sail.
Ah, maybe I should have let them off here.
Yes, sir.
Oh well. Anyway, next turn, they'll get off, and we'll be ready to attack. Let's see, let's merge these units. Oh, they're all already merged and ready to go, huh? Alright then. Alright, so next turn they'll be ready to attack. We've made our military, you know, made our military stuff. So that's pretty much all we can do this turn. Make sure... Oh no, what am I talking about? We're supposed to attack this guy. Every unit we can spare. Oh, these guys only have 26. Let's see if I get everyone else in here.
Orders.
If I move them... Actually, let's save first. So I'll have to go redo all this stuff. Yes, yes, yes. Alright. I move them there.
Yes.
What's this look like? Yeah, that's good. It's good. Alright.
My lord.
Gosh, I really wish I didn't have to attack them in a forest like that, but let's do it!
Marching to war.
Yay!